Hi, welcome to week 5 of ADM Flash. So basically what happened is that today I think you'll just come back from holiday, so there'll be a simple revision of what you should know for the first few lessons and moving on to what you should know by this week, which is making your background move. So let's get on with the lesson.
Hi, this is something that I hope that you can achieve by the end of today's lesson when you press Ctrl Enter. So you can see a name with the backdrop moving. So this is something that is I hope it can motivate you to focus on today's lesson. Alright, let's do the setting up of the repo. Let's do a file new file with ActionScript 3.0. Let's save the file first. I'm going to save it as a class and my register, which is a Finter 101 underscore 37. Of course, this is fictitious. Yes, I replaced my old file. So what am I going to do is that I'm going to create my repo inside the library using a new symbol, which is called movie. So with that, we will create a new symbol. Make sure it is a movie clip and just call it a repo and click OK. Alright, once you go into the movie, you realize you are not on the scene anymore. You are inside this movie called repo. So it is a very big piece of canvas. What we are going to do is that we are going to make sure that we have a repo that's small enough. So let's click onto the rectangle tool at this little black triangle here, and we're going to select the over tool and let go of my mouse. So I'm going to draw a very small repo at the moment. Pressing onto the shift key, I just draw a small circle at the center. And if you think it is not really very centralized, you can always press Ctrl K, Ctrl K. Click on Align to Stage and align it horizontally and vertically. Of course, we can change the color to the color that we like, maybe a dark green. The boundary is selected. Alright, so this is how small the ripple looks like. We can make it smaller again later. Let's go to the property and select, go back to our scene 1, select the selection tool, and we can change our frame per second to 20. Alright, now you can go back to the library and go back to the repo movie. This is where we left off just now. Let's take 1 second to make this repo start from small to big. Alright, so of course repo, you may not want to have the interior. You may select the fill color and change the alpha down to 0. Then after that you will see only a small circle. From here you can click on frame 20 and create another keyframe. Alright, keyframe. So here is a small repo, here is a big repo. So I will use the free transform tool, or I can press Q and make it bigger. Alright, so I think this is about the size that I want. Press Ctrl K again to align it to the center. After that I can close it. Now let's try right click here and change the create shape twin. So now you can see that when I press enter at the beginning, this ripple becomes bigger. But of course, under the properties, you can always choose the easing, whether you want it to become faster or slower. So this is easing out. When I press enter again, you see it becomes fast and slow down. Alright, so all these are some things that you can try and play around. So once this is finished, I can always go back to my beginning and make it smaller. How do I make it so small? I can of course magnify my whole screen to 400%. After that, once I make it smaller and use Ctrl K to realign my ripple, and I close this. So once I zoom back to 100%, you realize that this is a very small ripple. Once I press enter, it goes quite fast. Okay, then after that it will disappear. How do we make this ripple disappear? Select here, alright, and after that we select the stroke. At this point of time, 20th frame, the alpha should reach 0. Alright, so click onto this number and pull it down. Once it reaches 0, you let go and you realize that it is blank. So when I press enter, you realize it just go off the ripples. This is the part 1. After that, you can go back to the scene. Alright, now we are at part 2 of this lesson. Go to the library, click on the ripple. You realize in layer 1 we can double click and call it the backdrop. At the first frame, we can pull in a few ripples from either this place in the library, or you can even call in from the library itself. You realize all these ripples, you can put it at different places. Just spread it out a little bit. After this, you can press Ctrl Enter and see the effects. Okay, you realize that they start to have coming out at the same time, but of course this look very stale. We can have some more ripples at maybe even the 10th frame. So we just create a keyframe there and create a few more. We just pull in a few more at different places. And at the 20th frame and maybe 15th frame, we can also still insert a few more at different places. After that, you can just press, just complete the whole thing by inserting a frame, not a keyframe. At 20th, which is the end of 1 second, press Ctrl Enter and let's see how the effect is like. Alright, so you can see that this one, hey, looks like ripple effects indeed. Now, with this, we can move on to the last part of the lesson, which include putting on your name. Well, the last part of the lesson, which is putting on your name, you have to insert a new layer on top of your backdrop so that it appears in front of your backdrop. You can double click and change the layer to name, which represents your name. Of course, let's go to the beginning of the keyframe and just key in your name, select text 2 and just type in your name. Okay, my name is Michael, but I realize that it's empty here. So what exactly happened? Let's just click on the selection tool. This is selected. Let's go to the property and select the color here. You realize the alpha is 0, so push it up all the way to 100 and you realize it comes out. Then after that you can select the color that you like, maybe red, Michael House. You can change the how it looks to something that you prefer, maybe something solid, something fanciful, but something must be readable. Alright, so let's just put this here at the center. I can use Ctrl K again to align it to the center of the stage, and after that I can of course pull it some more if I want to pull it. Yep. Of course this pulling is not the exact pulling that I'm talking about, but you can use the free transform tool to click on this and you realize now you can pull it all the way up and it looks a bit better. Alright, with this we can go back to the selection tool and press Ctrl K and to align it properly. After that, it will last throughout the 1 second where there are some ripples coming on and off. Of course, you can exercise your creativity into how you want to use it. Now when I press Ctrl Enter, you will see ripples happening behind my name. Alright, so with this you finish up your work and you got to submit the shockwave file. Remember, this is the file that I want to receive so that I can give you a grading. I hope this lesson is not too difficult. Thank you very much.